The dust kicks up around your horse as you survey the battlefield ahead. It's 331 BCE. You're 25 years old. Behind you, 47,000 men await your command. Across the plain, nearly 1 million Persian soldiers stretch to the horizon, the largest army ever assembled in human history. Your generals whisper that this is suicide. King Darius has chosen this battlefield specifically to crush you with sheer numbers. The Persian war chariots gleam like silver death in the morning sun. But you're not afraid. You've never lost a battle. You've never even retreated. You raise your sword toward the enemy. Your voice cuts through the desert air. Today, we don't just fight Persians. Today, we become legends. This is the Battle of Gaugamela. In the next few hours, you'll either die or become the ruler of the known world. But how did a 25-year-old from a small kingdom in northern Greece end up here? This is your life as Alexander the Great. You enter the world during a thunderstorm. Lightning splits the sky as you take your first breath in the royal palace of Pella. Your mother, Queen Olympias, believes this is a sign from the gods. She's not entirely wrong. You're born into violence. Your father, King Philip II, has already lost an eye in battle. Macedonia is surrounded by enemies. Greek city-states to the south call you barbarians. To survive here, you must be strong. But you're different from other royal children. While they play with toys, you're obsessing over war stories. By age 8, you've memorized every battle in Homer's Iliad. Achilles becomes your hero. You sleep with a copy of the epic under your pillow. At 10, something extraordinary happens. A horse trader brings a massive black stallion to your father's court. The horse is beautiful but wild, rearing, striking, impossible to mount. Seasoned horsemen back away. You step forward. "I can ride him," you announce. The adults laugh. You're just a boy. But you've noticed something they missed. The horse is afraid of its own shadow. You turn the stallion toward the sun so it can't see its shadow, whisper in its ear, and leap onto its back. The horse calms instantly. You name him Bucephalus. He'll carry you across 3 continents. Your father watches this display with new eyes. Who is this child? What will he become? When you turn 13, everything changes. Your father makes a decision that will shape the world. He hires Aristotle as your tutor. Picture this, the greatest philosopher alive becomes your personal teacher. For 3 years, you study in a sacred grove outside Pella. Aristotle teaches you medicine, biology, philosophy, and politics. But more importantly, he teaches you to think. Excellence is not an act, but a habit, he tells you. You absorb everything. You learn to speak multiple languages. You study the customs of foreign peoples. Aristotle shows you that the world is vast and full of wonders waiting to be discovered. But there's tension at home. Your parents' marriage is falling apart. Your father takes a new wife, a political alliance that threatens your position as heir. Your mother Olympias is furious. The palace becomes a battlefield of whispers and plots. Then, in 336 BCE, disaster strikes. You're attending your sister's wedding when a man rushes toward your father with a dagger. The blade finds its mark. King Philip II, the man who united Macedonia, bleeds out on the palace floor. You're 20 years old. Your father is dead. And suddenly, you're king. But here's the problem, half the kingdom wants you dead too. Becoming king at 20 sounds glamorous until you realize everyone thinks you're too young to rule. Greek city-states immediately rebel. They see opportunity in your father's death. The city of Thebes declares independence. This is your first real test. You could negotiate, send diplomats, find a peaceful solution. Instead, you do something that sends shockwaves across the ancient world. You march to Thebes with 30,000 soldiers and destroy the entire city in 3 days. Not just defeat, complete annihilation. Buildings leveled. Population sold into slavery. Only temples and the house of the poet Pindar are spared. It's brutal. It's calculated. And it works. Every other Greek city immediately surrenders. Now they know, you tell your generals, that Alexander is not his father. But conquest at home is just the beginning. You have bigger plans. Much bigger. Spring 334 BCE. You stand on the shores of the Hellespont, the narrow strait separating Europe from Asia. Behind you, 35,000 men, the finest army ever assembled. Ahead lies the Persian Empire, the largest kingdom on earth. Your advisors think you're insane. The Persian Empire has existed for 200 years. It stretches from India to Egypt. It has unlimited gold, unlimited soldiers. You have one advantage: speed. As your fleet crosses into Asia, you perform a ritual that sends a clear message. You hurl a spear into the Asian shore and declare that you accept Asia as a gift from the gods. You're not just invading, you're claiming divine right. Your first major battle comes at the Granicus River. The Persian governors think they can crush you quickly, end this invasion before it begins. They position their cavalry along the riverbank and wait. Big mistake. You personally lead the charge across the river. Your silver shield flashes in the sunlight as you cut through enemy ranks. A Persian noble swings his sword at your head. It would have killed you, but your friend Clitus deflects the blow and saves your life. Victory. Total victory. But here's where you do something unprecedented. Instead of enslaving the defeated Persians, you recruit them. You adopt their customs. You start wearing Persian dress. Your own men begin to whisper, "Is Alexander becoming Persian?" This question will haunt the rest of your life. How do you conquer an empire without losing yourself? Let's return to that dusty plain where we began. You're facing the largest army in history. King Darius III has bet everything on this battle. If he wins, your invasion ends here. The night before battle, your men can't sleep. They're outnumbered 20 to 1. But you sleep peacefully in your tent. When your generals wake you, you seem annoyed. Why disturb me? The battle is already won. How can you be so confident? Because while Darius focused on numbers, you focused on tactics. You've studied this battlefield for days. You know exactly where Darius will position his war chariots. You've prepared for everything. The battle begins at dawn. Darius sends his chariots, 200 razor-wheeled death machines thundering toward your lines. Your men part like water, letting the chariots pass harmlessly through prepared gaps. Then you see your moment. Darius has moved his center forward, creating a weakness in his left flank. You wheel your cavalry and charge directly at the Persian king. Darius sees you coming. This young man in silver armor cutting through his royal guard like they're made of paper. Terror fills his eyes. The mighty king of kings turns his chariot and flees. When the royal standard disappears, the entire Persian army collapses. You've just become the ruler of the largest empire in human history. At age 25. But empires aren't just won. They must be held. And the man who can conquer the world might not be the same man who can rule it. Victory changes you. As you push deeper into Asia, you adopt more Persian customs. You marry a Persian princess, Roxanne. You demand that your men bow before you, something no Macedonian king had ever required. Your oldest friends begin to resist. They see you becoming the foreign tyrant you once fought against. The breaking point comes at a banquet in 328 BCE. You're drinking with your officers when the conversation turns to your father's achievements. Your friend Clitus, the same man who saved your life at Granicus, speaks up. Philip conquered more with Macedonians alone than you have with your Persian allies. The room falls silent. You've been drinking. Your temper, always dangerous, explodes. You call me a coward? You roar. I call you ungrateful to the men who made you great. Clitus shoots back. In your rage, you grab a spear and hurl it across the room. Pierces Clitus through the heart. Your closest friend, your savior, dies at your own hand. The moment the spear leaves your hand, you realize what you've done. You fall to your knees beside Clitus's body and weep. For 3 days, you refuse to eat or leave your tent. You've become the very thing you set out to destroy, a tyrant drunk on power. But your story isn't over. In fact, your greatest mystery is yet to come. By 323 BCE, you've marched 22,000 miles. You've founded 20 cities, all named Alexandria. Your empire stretches from Greece to India, 3,000 miles across. You've achieved something no human ever has. You've conquered the known world. But conquest is a drug and you're addicted. You're already planning new campaigns, Arabia, maybe even the mysterious lands beyond the ocean. Your men are exhausted, but you can't stop. Then, in Babylon, you catch a fever. For 11 days, the fever burns through you. Your generals gather around your bedside. The greatest conqueror in history is dying, and he's only 32 years old. They ask you the crucial question: who inherits the empire? Your answer becomes legend. To the strongest. On June 10th, 323 BCE, you take your final breath. Within hours of your death, your generals begin fighting for pieces of your empire. The kingdom you spent your life building tears itself apart. But here's the mystery that haunts historians to this day. How exactly did you die? Some say poison. Others believe it was typhoid fever or malaria or even alcoholism. Recent theories suggest you might have had Guillain-Barré syndrome, a condition that would have left you conscious but unable to move, appearing dead while still alive. Imagine that final horror, the greatest conqueror in history, aware but helpless as the world prepares to bury him. We'll probably never know the truth, but maybe that's fitting. Alexander the Great was always more legend than man. Your life poses a question that echoes through history. What happens when unlimited ambition meets unlimited power? You conquered the known world by age 30, but you couldn't conquer yourself. You defeated million-man armies but lost battles against your own rage, pride, and ambition. Today, we live in a world shaped by your vision. You didn't just conquer territories, you connected civilizations. Greek philosophy met Indian mathematics. Persian art influenced Mediterranean culture. You created the first truly global civilization. But you also showed us the price of greatness. Every monument to your glory stands beside a reminder of its cost. The cities you destroyed, the friends you lost, the man you might have been. Alexander the Great died 2,300 years ago, but his ghost still walks among us. Every leader who dreams of changing the world, every person who struggles with the weight of their own ambition, every human who wonders what they might achieve if they never accepted the word impossible. You were 32 when you died, younger than most people watching this video. The question isn't what you accomplished in such a short life. The question is, what could you accomplish in yours?